Did you know there are 5 danger zones for bacteria in your home? John Hopkins from Zerorez joins us today with some very scary scenarios. John, the 5 areas we need to be concerned about. This is where areas where it's most likely going to grow germs and bacteria and stuff?
Well, your whole home or your office space, every surface in there is one of those areas. And as we spoke about earlier, we started with carpet. Then we moved on to the air and the air ducts and those types of things. Today we're going to talk about hard surfaces.
Okay.
The things that we touch and the walls that we're surrounded with.
I'm a little bit scary to find out because every time you come in, I think I'm safe and clean until you show me these things I had never realized before. Did you actually do some swabs and some checking some what's growing on people's counters?
We did. These are just random customers that we went to into their homes and pulled these tests for them. And you can see that we have a sink and a toilet and a countertop. And if you look at that sink, you'll see that there are colonies growing on that sink.
You can see, yeah, we can see some of the little specks and stuff. That was growing there in the sink.
Absolutely. And then you can see the toilet also that had the same issue. In fact, it's growing quite a bit more than what the sink was growing.
I would hope it would be, but okay.
And then the countertop is very, very bad also. See, it's really an overinfestation on the countertop.
You would think, I don't know if we can see quite as much with that glare there, but there's a lot on that countertop.
You bet. Yeah, the glare kind of pulls it away. But you know, we disinfect, we think, on our surfaces. In fact, we buy a lot of these wipes. Yeah. You've seen these wipes.
Right, that's what most people use. My wife takes them, she goes through like 40 a day on the countertop.
You bet. Well, she'll need to go through more than that.
Uh-oh.
Because what it says on the front of that is, kills bacteria. Well,
yeah.
It does kill bacteria, but if you look on the back side and read the fine print, it takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to do that, and you have to keep that surface wet with that little wipe. It's almost impossible to do that. I mean, is your wife going to stand on a 5-foot countertop for 10 minutes and do that? It's just not going to happen.
In fact, if we would have wiped this countertop when we started this interview, it still would not be clean. We would be sitting here waiting for it still.
Absolutely. You'd have to keep it wet with that product to do that.
Yeah, not very realistic.
Not realistic at all.
Okay.
One of our other real problems in a home, of course, is our sink.
Yeah.
Well, it's the hotbed really for E. coli in the home, is the dish rag and the things that we have around the sink. Another one we have that we just don't think about a lot is going to the fridge and getting out our eggs. Eggs are just loaded with salmonella, so we put them on the countertop, we touch the sink and the faucet and things like that, and it starts to migrate. Not good. So
that's how all those germs get all spread all over the place, just from just regular life.
Well, the CDC says most germs are spread through bioaspiration, viruses and colds and flus. 22 million school days a year are lost due to colds and flus. And the bad thing about it is, well, let's protect them against that. We won't go around people who have flu. Well, you're in an infectious state one day before you ever know you have the symptoms.
Yeah, so it's too late for that.
It's too late. So we need to make sure that you have a professional job done in your home to clean these areas and these surfaces.
For example, is this last one here, has this been treated with Zerorez?
Absolutely. And then re-swabbed, and you can see that there's nothing growing.
Yeah. I mean, you can tilt this any way you can. You're not going to see anything growing on there, as opposed to the other ones that had stuff growing all over the place. You know, we just moved into a new house, and we had the granite countertops, which I was all excited about, but granite is actually not the best thing for preventing germs, is it?
No, it's not. In fact, it's very, very porous. The EPA does not even want granite in a food prep operation in a commercial kitchen. You just can't do that. Now, this happens to be, and if we can get a shot of this, that's off a normal countertop, granite countertop. Not good.
Yeah, that's nasty.
It's very, very porous, and we're going to go into that just a little bit, I think, on a demo on the screen. But this is one, it's been swabbed, and after it's been cleaned and protected.
But there's nothing growing there.
Nothing growing. Absolutely. We can do those things. There's all types of technology out there that you can take care of your indoor environment.
People might have a question on that, but this is a piece of granite right here. This would be like an average, just a typical countertop, right?
Yes.
There's 2 sides that look very different. What's the difference here?
Well, one is done with enhancer, and do we have that shot we can pull up and talk about the granite just a little bit?
That just shows how porous granite is, a cross-section of granite from the side.
Yes, absolutely. There it is. And you'll see the little veins that drop down?
Yeah.
Those are where the bad guys get. It's very difficult. In fact, when you're wiping the surface, you can't do that. You can't get down into those grains.
And that's just what granite's about. I mean, it's a stone, so it's going to have some of those cracks, little fissures in it and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's made that way.
Yeah.
And so we can put down what we call a sealant to protect that. Now, some sealants will make it look like this. You can see can you see the difference between the two? One's a little shinier, one's a little dull. And so different protectants that you put down will make it look that way. But you can protect that. And you can make it pop and have a little more light to it, or you can still make it dull. But once you lay that portion down, if we could go back at the shot on the granite.
The cross-section of the granite
there. The cross-section of the granite. Then you can lay down some protection. And in that protection, it does not allow these bugs to migrate. And then after you lay that protection down, the very last one is the yellow, and it's an antimicrobial protectant that's approved by the EPA. So when anything touches it, it kills it.
So this Petri dish here would have been like for unprotected granite, and then the Petri dish here is after it's protected. So
absolutely.
Nothing's getting inside those little pores of the granite. Even though you like granite, it's cool, it looks impressive, it can harbor all sorts of germs unless it's properly sealed so the germs don't get down in there, right?
You bet. You bet. Now, we have all the surfaces in our home like that. Porcelain has a porosity to it. Glass, unbelievable. You think glass is hard. Well, it's not. There's a lot of porosity to that glass, too.
So do all those things need to be sealed like that?
Cleaned and sealed. Now, the problem is don't seal it before you professionally clean it, or you're in real trouble. But yes, you can clean and then seal.
Okay, you mentioned professionally clean. Zerorez does that. You actually have the sealant, and you can do the antimicrobial stuff on the top and with the proper chemicals and make sure it's done
Absolutely.
right.
Approved by the EPA.
And phone number is
1-866-0RES.
Yeah. If you want more questions, if you have more questions, you can go to their website. If you want to call and take advantage of the offer there, it's 866-0RES, and you can make sure that your surfaces are sealed and cleaned properly, and make sure you clean them before you seal them.
Yes,
don't seal the bad stuff in there.
That's right.
John, thanks so much for helping us out here.
You bet.
Letting us know exactly what is on our countertops that we might not have known about.